Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the NoLife Gaming and Tech Podcast. We are merging the two today. You got one show for you this week. We're gonna start off with gaming. How is everyone? How has everyone been? Doobie, how was your little vacation?
It's good. It's good. Good to be back. But it was good. It was much
How
needed.
long were you gone for?
I left the Sunday. No, I left Monday. Was it the 7th? Went down to Virginia for a couple days with a friend of mine. Just hang out with a friend. And then I went to Awesome Games Done Quick in Maryland for 3 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And I came back Sunday.
Did
But
you
it was good. I got
do any speed running?
I actually didn't really play much like at the event. I didn't actually play any games at the event. What I did do was just hang out with a lot of people and drink.
There you go.
But it was good. I see friends and everything. Didn't really catch a lot of the runs, so I'm going back now through my YouTube and like watching a lot of the marathon runs I missed. But they
Nice.
did a good job. It's going to be interesting since next year they announced that they are moving to Orlando, Florida. So the last couple years have been like mid-Atlantic, East Coast, Virginia, Maryland.
You could drive there about 7 hours.
I am
8
not
hours.
driving to Florida.
Nope, I did it once with a buddy. Took about a whole day, 24 hours.
Yep, that is a flight. So I mean, luckily flights like aren't that long or that expensive to Orlando.
No.
But
I was to say either flight or you just add a couple of days on if you can and you drive slower.
yeah, at least this time. Well, I mean, it's gonna be pretty much drive by myself, which is just boring to begin with.
Yeah, then fuck that, just fly.
Even the 3-hour drive was boring.
It's not
but,
worth it. The drive is
at least-
not good.
Yeah, at least it won't be freezing cold and snow like every year.
Yeah, that's true.
Still remember like a couple of years ago me making the decision that dude, I'm gonna wake up at 3 a.m. and drive to Cosanda's house and we're gonna drive to Alabama. No. And one day, stay there the night, then drive back the next day.
That's fucking insanity.
I did play like 30 hours.
That's not good for your car either, by the way.
No. I did play a bunch of Hollow Knight, like about like 30 hours of Hollow Knight during the week.
All right. So what we've been playing, let's get a little rundown of Hollow Knight because I've been thinking about getting it. Everyone says you like games like this, you gotta get Hollow Knight. And I watch gameplay, I'm like, it doesn't look nearly as fluid as Dead Cells, and
It's hard to get into at first because you start with very minimal items. And it's got that classic Metroidvania bullshit where it's like, all right, I've explored everywhere and I don't know where to go next until you finally kind of find the progression item you need to expand into other areas. And then even then, there's 5 endings apparently. I didn't realize that. So I beat the game and I'm like, was that it? And then I looked up like a bunch of stuff and there's so much lore.
Oh, really?
There's so much lore apparently I missed out on, so I'm gonna like have to go back and revisit it. And the way they did the DLC was instead of making it separate, they just added things to the overall map.
Right.
Now I have to go find those things to do the DLC stuff. So apparently I finished with like 62% completion, but with the DLC, the way they did it was it's over 100%. So I think it's like 120% is the max. Which I don't know. I guess why games do this because the base game has 100%, but the DLC adds in so much extra percent. So I'm pretty much beat half the game.
So
it's fun.
I don't. Is it like does it have like RPG elements? Do you like level your dude up? Is it roguelite in any way, or is it mainly just Metroidvania?
It's Metroidvania with a little bit of RPG, as in there's no real like stats for level up. But you do like as you collect money, you buy stuff, you get more. Like you do some challenges which like give you different relics you can equip, so you can have different loadouts. So I had like an exploring loadout and a boss fighting loadout. So like I would have like what they call charms. I would have a charm that was like show yourself on the map. So that's one like space. But when I'm going on a boss fight, I take that off because there's no need for it.
Right.
And there was a couple boss fights where I was just getting bodied repeatedly, so I pretty much like would fight them 20 times in a row.
Now, what's like the fighting like? Is it the combat good at all?
The combat's pretty good. You have like spells and stuff like that, but I was able to upgrade the your main weapon. So you don't like switch weapons. You always have like the sword. But you also get like you can upgrade the sword by finding certain items. So they do more damage. There's a shield. You have some spells you can also level up by doing certain boss fights that like increase them. So there's an up spell, a down spell, and like a regular neutral spell. So like you fire a burst of energy either forward. You can do one that's kind of like a up attack where it's like a cloud. And then the down one is kind of just like a charge down, which can also lead to progression by breaking things.
Right.
It's pretty good. Like it's if you like Metroidvanias, it's really good in that sense. The map, I thought I was getting close to getting the map, and then I find a new area. So the map's pretty large. And there are decent fast travel options.
Okay. I might check it out. How much is it?
$15. You get it on sale for maybe like 10.
That I can do.
It's all free.
Yeah, that I can do.
Yeah, it's a solid. It's for the price. It's definitely worth the 15.
I might check it out. I keep hearing about it, and everyone says it's awesome.
Yeah, Switch was a great system to play it on because you got an hour here, an hour there, just to explore the map.
Switch is the best system to play anything on.
But indies like that, yeah, no, like because that's also really cool to me that it's finally down to that price, because that was something that I didn't ever really enjoy. Was I think a lot of indie games were coming out at like $30 or $40.
Yeah, it's a little high.
I own this game. I bought it for $10 on Steam, like not even on sale.
Yeah.
I've already played it. I don't want to spend $30-$40 to replay it. But like, yeah, 10-15, like close to the same price I bought it for. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a couple of titles like that I'm like, I can buy them on Steam now for cheaper when they have the Steam sale. But I'm like, you know what? No, I want to wait for this specific game on the Switch to go on sale because I would rather have it for the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm totally for that. It was just the like, I'm okay, like even yeah, if I can buy it for 10 on the computer and it's 15 on Switch, like I can live with that. It was the like, no, Super Meat Boy is like $40 or whatever, and it's just like, bought that game for like $2.
If Valkyria Chronicles is like $60, it was on sale on Steam for like 30, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till it's on sale for 30 on the Switch.
By the way,
Humble Bundle is out on Switch and 3DS now.
Oh, nice.
So,
but they just give you like a key code or something.
I'm thinking, but also I don't know if they have like they've had any bundles for it yet, but they definitely have a store on there, so you can also check that, because Humble Bundle puts stuff on sale like crazy all the time. So definitely look into that too, because I think they have like 40 games or something like that for Switch and 3DS now, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
I want to give them a shout out for that.
By the way, did you
get put onto that paywall you want?
Do you have this thing, Doobie? It's like a little L bracket for the Switch. It's basically just a little stand that you can kind of fold up, and there's a little port on the side so you can play it and charge it at the same time.
Okay.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. I think it's like $10.
I was gonna say that's not a dock, right?
No.
All right, good. You just gotta be careful with those third-party docks that are like the small ones, because there's something with the conversion process that Nintendo, I guess, has a proprietary thing. Because
no, this is from Nintendo.
Okay, yeah, those third-party docks, like the small like ones that people kind of just like gut the dock and put into a little.
They're
like,
frying people's. That's actually more a problem with the USB-C standard, because it's all sorts of different power deliveries. But this one is from Nintendo. You can get it on Amazon. It's like $10-15, nice. And it basically just allows you to put it on your desk and charge it and play it at the same time. Works nice.
I'm waiting for. I'm hoping that Nintendo, whatever they decide to do on a revision, I hope they decide to do like a dock converter, so you don't need the actual dock to put on your TV.
Yeah,
I've seen some of them.
I don't hate, like, the dock isn't that big of a deal to throw into my backpack.
No, it's way too big.
But I mean, I have like a backpack specifically designed for fight sticks, so
dude, I mean, all it really needs to do is upgrade this to a Thunderbolt port, and then you can just connect it straight from here to HDMI and just play it that way, and then connect everything else to your TV. Most TVs have USBs now, or just play it through Bluetooth. know?
But
they're not gonna change it to a Thunderbolt, because the way they're gonna do it is if they make a Switch revision, they're gonna want to keep everything uniform.
Yeah, like if it was in like the computer world, I'd totally say yes, but like not for TVs yet.
Consoles are just starting to do USB-C, like the PS. Like,
well, it's that, but it's also people keep their TVs for an average of 8 years, I think. Like, even though it's awesome that they're finally coming out like on a lot of TVs, like the last 2 years, that's still probably like 5% of the market.
Yeah, but all they'd have to do is get a USB-C to HDMI cable, and then it just hooks up right into the HDMI or a mini display.
Oh yeah, no, they could do that, like, and that works. I just mean like the whole idea of like, yeah, you're gonna plug it into your TV. Like, yeah, I can do that. I doubt anyone else can do that for the most part. And it's like, even if like Thunderbolt TVs come out next year, I'm not gonna buy a new fucking TV for Thunderbolt.
No. No. But I don't know why they would I don't know why they're using the lowest standard of USB-C. Just upgrade it to Thunderbolt, which is the top standard, or even the one right underneath Thunderbolt. What was that?
Then you have to pay Intel.
Fucking pay them. You know, you're gonna put it on there.
Device.
Put it on there.
That's a lot of extra for it, dude.
I think it'd be worth it, because then you can hook up hard drives to it. You know, you can run whatever you want to it.
I gotta imagine that
it's only power right now. That's all it does. Doesn't do anything else but power.
If you just put a traditional USB-C, you can still do data. You don't need Thunderbolt for data. And like, let's be real, that thing doesn't need like a 40 terabyte connection. It's a fucking Switch.
Yeah, but I think you need Thunderbolt for data, power, and for display all at the same time. So if you wanted like one cable to do everything,
but like,
that's what I'm thinking. Just like, let me carry one cable and let it do it. Let the cable do everything. Don't even give me a dock.
Yeah, maybe a couple of years in the future, but like I still don't see that coming to a $300 handheld console anytime soon.
Make it $350. I'll buy it. I'll pay the extra $50 for it.
Yeah,
the dock sucks. The dock is a piece of shit. I'm sure we can all agree on that.
Yeah,
it's definitely oversized.
Yeah, and you're paying for just plastic. It's just plastic. It's just an HDMI splitter.
And it has scratched consoles.
Yeah, I think you can just make a better dock for cheaper. That would just be easier. I mean, it's like the same thing of like taking your laptop home. Like, just if you actually have at least a decent quality dock, it'll be able to do everything anyway, probably cheaper.
Imagine if they if they update the chip in a revision.
Like if they had it like that mini dock that you were showing, like just imagine that's the dock.
Well, they have some mini docks, but they're third party. They're not Nintendo ones.
Right, but like I mean, like for the next revision, just have that as the dock.
Yeah.
Like you just plug it into that, and that has your HDMI, everything else on it.
Yeah.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
I'm totally content with that instead of just like,
let it charge it. Let it charge it like full speed. Because like right now, the standard, you can barely get the amount of charge that you need while you're playing. Like you'll still trickle down your battery while you're playing and charging it. So give me like the best battery that you can get. Give me the best output. That way you get a little dock like this, little HDMI port on the side. Let me hook up a hard drive that has all my games on it, maybe a couple controllers. Boom.
The only thing I would argue
that'd be awesome.
It's
Nintendo.
It needs an Ethernet, the Ethernet port as well. But that's it.
Yeah, put a 10 gig on there.
And you only need one HDMI port for the game controller.
Put a fucking 10 gig Ethernet port on it.
Dude, fuck it. Just throw a 40 gig Switch.
And I want it in this size. I want my dock to be this big. Okay.
I want Nintendo of all companies to suddenly roll out a good product like that. Like the Switch is awesome.
That's what I do want. That's what I do want.
Everything else is just like, I have zero faith in Nintendo suddenly busting out.
I just want them to use a better standard USB-C so other companies can do that. So I can buy the third-party one that does it all.
The Switch Pro controller is
just put on Gen 2 that it'll do 10 gigs a second. You don't need to do 40 like Thunderbolt, but cool.
I got to imagine the next Xbox console and the next PlayStation 5, their controllers are going to definitely be USB-C, right?
I hope so. I
hope so.
That's the thing with consoles. It's all proprietary, so they can give you that, like back in the day, those proprietary connectors.
Yeah, but everything
the Switch is USB-C to charge.
Yeah.
Like the Switch Pro controller is USB-C. I think it's the first USB-C controller.
Yeah.
Well, from a console.
It's a first USB-C console. None of the other ones USB-C at all.
No.
Yeah.
And that I would love to see that, and I give them credit for that. Like, dude, seriously, no, just everything in the world.
I can see Microsoft being the one to go Thunderbolt.
Oh yeah, nah, I don't know. I don't want to see a Thunderbolt on console. Their AMD consoles, Intel is Thunderbolt.
That's true.
Like that is such a fucking massive loophole, technology wise, for what? Like if it was like that's what I was saying. Like if it's a computer, like
if Intel buys the AMD,
like if you're talking about like no, dude, it's a console plugging into my TV. Like, why the fuck do you need Thunderbolt?
I don't know. I don't know how much throughput you're gonna need if you're running
like even
certain
if you're
games. You know what I mean?
It depends on how powerful these consoles are gonna be.
Yeah, but like I mean, for right now, you can just use USB 3.1 Gen 2. That'll push 10 gigs a second.
Yeah, that should be enough for any game on a hard drive.
Yeah, no, that's faster than any hard drive known to man. Already is kind of.
I also can imagine
that'll cost them like 50 cents to make that change.
We're done with gigabytes, right? Like the next system's base models are going to be 1 terabyte. They have to be.
I hope so.
They have to be. The game sizes are too big.
Dude, the iPhone and the Pixel, gig. I mean, they're not even up there at base model yet.
Oh no, not phones, because that's still all flash memory. But like
talking systems.
Yeah, like a console, dude. No, you better have at least the
the next PS5 and Xbox 2, wherever the fuck they.
Yeah, but that's where they can make their money.
They can't make a 500 gig because the game sizes are just too large.
The game says it's that, but it's also
models have to be a terabyte.
I mean, even if they're not, as long as I can replace it still, because it's one of those things too, where it's like,
no, you'll be able to get a hard drive.
You're gonna sell me like a fucking $350 console that's got a 5,400 RPM spinning hard drive.
You're throwing a 4 gig hard drive in that motherfucker. Dude,
I just went to Micro Center and bought the same hard drive for $10 out the door. Like,
especially if you go digital
the console
only.
market, man. It's all that stupid sort of like proprietary pricing. They can just inflate it.
With both of the current consoles, you can open them and switch them. If they keep that, I'm
or you just attach an external one.
Yeah. But I mean, like the other thing too that I've seen do, which I always think is cool, you can just open it, flop an SSD in there, make it super fast, then attach like a 2 gig external hard drive, and it will work.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. Yeah, that's what I do with all my computers. It's amazing.
Well, that's kind of why I'm getting more excited about consoles these days than PC gaming. Just because they have better games. And now they're getting to the point where if you could just give me 4K 60, I'm happy. You know, I'm happy, man. I don't really need much more performance. You can probably do it the next one.
But, like, I don't know. That's you. This is me. Like, it's honestly, on both platforms, I think the games are more than good enough. It's just what you want to play.
Yeah. It's all your preference. But, I mean, you're not playing God of War on PC yet. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not making that jump. You'd think like any Xbox game now, they're going to have that PC counterpart, which will definitely help. Definitely help start to just bring Fortnite in general completely just inflated the PC market from what it was. Yeah. So I think it's going to be an interesting sort of battle in 2019, 2020. I'm hoping we see new consoles at E3 this year.
Me too, but like I don't think it's so much a battle, because like it was. I think it was for a little bit, but I still think PC gaming.
You're not seeing. I don't think we're seeing new consoles since Sony pulled out of E3 already.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll be at the PlayStation Experience next, whenever that is, like December-ish.
Next December.
Yeah, whenever.
Oh yeah, they didn't have their one this year.
No, they canceled that and they pulled out of E3 this year because they're just not ready, either from a hardware and software, or even just the software side for the hardware. It's like it's one thing to show off a console. It's another thing to show off a console and go, "Hey, brand new console games." Oh, we're not ready to show that.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know if the hardware is ready either.
Which is definitely funny coming from Sony, who's so good at showing things that are not yet ready for 4 more years all the time.
That's true. Especially software-wise,
all the games they showed off, with the exception of maybe The Last of Us 2 and Spider-Man, like Ghost of Tsushima, That's a PlayStation 5 game. I'm telling you right now, that is a next-gen game. That is not coming to the PS4.
It finally all clicks. You are the ultimate hype beast. It all makes sense. Your favorite.
Wait, what?
You are the ultimate hype beast. Your favorite games and consoles at the moment are the Switch, which is also notorious for doing this, and Sony PlayStation for Kingdom Hearts and everything.
Oh my god!
Every game that you're the most excited about is all of these games that are 2021, baby.
Hey, Elder Scrolls 6, baby, 2023. I will say that's one of the things
clicked in my head.
That's one of the things I like about Nintendo is they don't show games usually way too early. For the
what? That was the whole Switch launch. When the Switch launched, that was the running joke.
How long
like
from
2019, 2020?
Well, I was saying that for like when I would say that it's perfect to pick up because there'll be a ton of games already out for it.
No, but that was also the meme because that like almost all of the directs was like
because it only launched
Super Metroid.
Well, then
that's one thing. Half of the games that they were releasing that first year was like, maybe next year you'll see Pokemon sometime, probably 2019. Like, still haven't seen.
What did we get? We got Smash.
Well, how long between the Smash announcement and Smash release was there?
No, it was like a year.
No, they got
a year.
Yeah, no, it was like the second year. No, they've gotten a ton better. Like they've got.
If that was Sony, they would announce Super Smash Brothers 4 years ago, and it would just be coming out now.
Well, I mean, the fact that Ghost of Tsushima is hyped.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
The fact that Ghost of Tsushima is hyped and it's a PS5, probably launch title.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I really hope not. I really want to fucking play it.
Yeah, dude. No, dude, that game got me so fucking hyped last year. It's not even funny. Like that game looks fucking sick.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. But I'm telling you right now, it's definitely not running on a PS4.
That's why they do it, man. They show off that little teaser. They get you all excited.
If they release that game on a PS4,
they impregnate your brain with a pre-order.
It will be at 30 frames a second. If
you can still also just run it at 60, it just won't look as good. Because that's, from what I understand, that's always been the plan. Like,
you're definitely not getting 4K on that one.
Yeah, like that. Well, you can get 4K,
have to though.
Look like shit.
They're gonna have to do some way where it's upscaled on the Pro. You know?
Exactly. Like you can still run it. It's just gonna look like shit compared to the 5. Like that was what my understanding of why they switched to the whole PC centric kind of idea was like, no, the console's always gonna run it. It's just like as it gets older and older, it's not going to be running 4K Ultra. It's going to be running 4K Min, like textures just completely ripped out of it.
Sony is a classic they're a classic company for doing the dual release PS3, PS1, PS2, PS3. Like Nintendo used to do it as well when they had like Twilight Princess, that was GameCube and Wii. They did only a handful.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, Wii U and Switch, and arguably ran better on the Wii U.
Oh yeah, forgot that got released on the Wii U.
I mean,
not a lot of people played it on the Wii U, but
I did.
Friends that did.
Jared did.
No, dude, like that's why I didn't buy a Switch.
How do you have a Wii U?
I don't, but my girlfriend and her sister, like that was one of their gifts one year. They've had a Wii U forever,
and it has so much dust on it.
Yeah, no, they play it a lot. They're just as Nintendo fanboys as you do. They still play it, like to the point that like they've been selling each other.
Do they play Mario Party?
Even though I'm a fanboy, I still point out the shitty things Nintendo does.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
I am not an apologist.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair representation.
There's a difference between fanboy and apologist. The apologists would sit there and be like, well, the Wii U was a failure, but I mean, it was a necessary failure, and they learned a lot of things from it. No, the Wii U was a failure, and that's a dark time in our history of Nintendo fans.
But true. But at the same time, I'm happy I never bought a Wii U. But at the same time, I'm happy they had a Wii U. I don't
blame you. It had no fucking games.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm happy they had a Wii U. Because, Breath of the Wild was great on it. I never had a single... I still have never had any performance issues.
Go back and watch Smash 4 compared to Smash Ultimate, and Smash 4 just looks like a completely shit game.
I believe it.
Yeah, Smash Ultimate. It's
so,
crazy how
like I watched the death
That's
animation.
also
It's so bad.
It's the same reason why I haven't bought a Switch. Is like Lauren, her sister, half of them already bought Switches. I'm just waiting for her to buy a Switch because I know she's just been waiting for Animal Crossing, another game that's been forever teased. But she's waiting for Animal Crossing, and she's instantly buying it day of Animal Crossing because she's been waiting.
Which is probably coming this year.
Yeah,
and it's only.
I would buy a Switch just for Smash.
It's only announced.
I mean, that's what I want. But like, I'm not gonna go buy it when she's already gonna buy it. And I'm like, there's only so many.
Oh yeah.
On it. But it's like
if you know she's gonna buy one, there's no reason to buy two of them.
She's been debating it forever, and she's like, "No, dude, she's Animal Crossing person at heart. Like, no, she's waiting till the Animal Crossing version of the Switch gets released so she can get the fancy dock and like custom Switch of Animal Crossing.
I don't know. I mean, they'll probably do it. They did it for Smash, and they know how well Animal Crossing sells.
Yeah. I would get the Switch just for Smash. Smash is so fun. I can't stop fucking playing it, dude. It is
Smash
such an addicting game.
Mario
I haven't
Odyssey
played anything
great.
else.
Breath of the Wild is great.
But dude, the way I was with Mario Tennis, that's Smash now. It's just taken over my addiction. I think about it all the time. I go to sleep and I think about Tex. It's crazy.
Mario Tennis is pretty good, though. I get it now.
Yeah, Mario Tennis is fucking awesome.
Dude,
That's 38 Deluxe.
No, dude, that's become like my niche go-to of like, all right, whenever a girl drags you to fucking Target or whatever and you have to wait around for a while, just go to the Switch and start playing Mario Tennis.
It's so good. I just wish more people played it. All right, moving on. We got oh, real quick. So Resident Evil 2, damn, I cannot wait for this game.
Dude.
It's just exactly how you kind of remember it, but completely
it's
different at the same time.
It's called the one-shot demo. If you die, is that just it? You can't play
I don't know.
anymore?
Luckily, I didn't die, but I didn't get very far. I didn't get very far. I can tell you that.
Because I've heard that only a third of I saw the report. There was like a third of the people who've downloaded it have beaten it so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently only a third of people who've downloaded it have actually beaten the demo.
How do you beat
it's
it?
Only 30 minutes.
Yeah, how do you beat it?
Apparently there's a cutoff. Like you can actually get to a cutoff point where it stops you.
I got to a point where it just was just like you ran out of time, and then it plays like a trailer, and then a man made of tofu runs across the screen.
That is a good old classic nod to some old modes right there.
But dude, it feels.
Buy the demo?
No.
Good.
It was a free demo.
Good.
I checked it out.
That's what I've been worried about because like
it runs beautifully.
There's been so many games lately that are like making you pay for like events or shit like that to get demos. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. But now
how
I'm
gory?
hyped. How gory
is the game?
Oh, it's so gory in the best way.
I've heard in other countries they've already it's already being like compared, and apparently, I think Japan. I think it's less gory in Japan than it is in.
Oh no, man. They got to make it more gory. Like you can fucking, you know how you get your combat knife and you can just go in on zombies. You can fuck them up with your knife and just like dice them open, entrails and their stomach fall out. The first scene where the first cut scene, this dude gets ripped in half by this zombie and his fucking whole body's bleeding everywhere. This one zombie's like half of his face. It's not really a zombie. It's one of your partners. Half of his face is just like diced open and he kind of just opens it from the side. And I'm just like, yes, this is what I love, dude. It runs so good too. Like it feels sort of like how Resident Evil 4 was, but the camera's pulled back a little bit more, so you get a little bit more of a view behind you. Not enough where you feel comfortable. It's still uncomfortably close, which is good, but it's just a little bit pulled back, so you feel a little bit more like you're in control. It runs really well on the 1080 Ti. And it's just the graphics. The sound design is phenomenal. So they have this new 3D audio technology. It's really just like, circumaural stereo signature with it. But it's so creepy, and you hear shit in the distance, and you hear shit real close to you. You don't know what's going on. I cannot wait for this game, because the second one, in my opinion, is the most fun one. I don't know if it's the best one, but I had the most fun with Resident Evil 2 with Leon.
Resident Evil 2 is definitely probably my favorite.
Yeah.
RE3 Nemesis is solid. Code Veronica was pretty good, and then RE4, despite not
They're
being
all
like,
good, dude.
despite not being like as much as a Resident Evil game, where it started to turn into the action game, but like nowhere near as bad as 5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's still a really good game.
What was the last one?
7.
Well, 7 before 7 was 6, and 6 was like not even a freaking. There was like no horror to that game. It was just an action game.
Yeah, that's okay. They got to
7
experiment.
was so bad.
7 was good.
Yeah, 7 was
7
phenomenal.
Throwback to
7 was the return to the horror format.
Yeah, it's a scary fucking game.
Okay, Wayne, what I need you to do is I need you to load it up, disable modern day effects like ambient occlusion, depth of field, volumetric lighting, set all settings to low, lower the resolution to 640 by 480, lower the resolution scaling to 50%, then upscale it to 1920 by 1440. And apparently you have PlayStation 1 graphics.
Oh, nice.
And I'm super fucking stoked about that.
That's actually awesome.
I kind of want to see that.
So I didn't get into any of the graphics because I didn't know how much time, like I didn't know when that timer was going to go off. So I was like, let's just jump into it and start recording.
Dude, no, there's like pictures of it. It's like, no, dude, this is just as blocky as the PlayStation. This is sick.
That's actually awesome. I wonder if they had to have done that on purpose, right?
I would think.
Oh, it looks so bad.
Yeah, dude, it looks exactly like the OG.
It looks like a fucking VCR. What the fuck is this? This is crazy.
Dude, I want to try it like this sometime.
It looks like a fucking like a watercolor painting.
Actually, that's fantastic. I want to try that.
Yeah, but I'm pumped, man. I can't wait for it to come out. It should be dropping the 25th, I think, is when it gets released.
Yeah, man. January is one hell of a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually pretty shit.
This month is usually kind of one of the slower months in gaming, but this year we're getting Kingdom Hearts 3, this, and the Mortal Kombat reveal.
It's not too bad.
This is a pretty solid month between like Resident Evil and Kingdom Hearts alone.
Yeah, and I still have a couple other games I need to fit. I just got Ashen as well, but I haven't really played too much of it. I played about a couple hours of it. It's like a Dark Soul. It's like a Dark Souls meets. Remember that one fighting game that we were stoked on? It's kind of like all the faces are just like there's no faces really. It's kind of almost like a polygon style fighting game.
Stick fight.
No. I forget the name of it, but it had like a pretty ingenious fighting system to it.
Dude, but also
it's like that mixed with Dark Souls, and it's pretty fun. But I haven't gotten too deep into it.
For January, we got the actual biggest release, Red Dead Online Battle Royale.
Oh, it did get released? Red Dead Online?
That's what you've always wanted.
I do want that.
Another Battle Royale.
But honestly, I haven't even played Red Dead Online yet.
Why would you?
I don't want to taint my experience. Because I know it's not good. I know it's not good. It can't be good. It can't be as good as the single player experience. So I haven't fucked with it. But now that there's a battle royale, I might have to try it out. All right, let's move on. We got some news. Digital Foundry lists what they want to see from Nintendo Switch revision. So speaking of which, 4K output support, upscaling the games to 4K, and outputting a 4K signal to the TV to avoid double upscaling, which I think is a reasonable request. A lot more people are getting 4K TVs. Might as well just allow it to do a 4K output. Doesn't have to play at 4K, just output to the 4K screen. Wi-Fi quality improvements, that's much needed. Better dock to stop scratching the screen, larger internal storage, better kickstand, bigger screen size, smaller bezels. I would like to see a glass screen. I would like to see thicker Joy-Cons. I would like to see a way bigger battery, maybe a removable battery. You know, maybe make the Joy-Con like the nubs on the control sticks, make them like easily removable, so it can kind of just slide in and out of pockets.
Give me a Joy-Con with a goddamn D-pad.
Yeah, Joy-Con with a D-pad.
With like a good D-pad, and I get it. Like then the buttons aren't distinguished. I mean, come on, like if you don't know you don't. I don't know, man. Just like.
No, I see what you're saying.
Give me a D-pad, because the separated buttons, it makes playing that like anything on that D-pad awful.
Just let other third-party people make it a little easier for them to make the products that we want. Don't fuck with them.
Know how fast you're gonna see that though, to be honest. I don't think you're gonna see it too quickly.
What, a new Switch?
And a new Switch, or at least a new Switch with like actual performance updates.
Yeah, I think it depends on the chip.
NVIDIA's done shit all.
Yeah, I think it comes down to the NVIDIA. Like it really comes. It doesn't come down to Nintendo. It comes down to NVIDIA.
Yeah, and like I've never heard any
chip.
Any rumors of them like actually still really working on SoC stuff outside of the car, like of SoC.
I mean, you never know. You never know with some of these companies with like hardcore NDAs, and they could be a top secret project. But I feel like the gaming industry, a lot of things leak, so we would have heard something.
Yeah, no, I probably would have heard about it. Like I'm in too deep of weird computer nerdery of like, no, I do follow like really weird system on a chip server architecture type stuff, like all of that kind. Like I'm in that kind of weird leak world. I haven't heard shit. Like
until we hear about a Tegra X2,
like that would be sick. But like NVIDIA still really hasn't done a new SoC because they like most of their sellings to cars. It's not even the Switch, and it's like
okay, they did make
the Tegra is still Maxwell.
They have made a ton of money off of their deal with Nintendo.
We got the new RTX cards. Tegras are still Maxwell. They're not even Pascal. So like if we saw a Pascal Tegra, yeah, that'd be really fucking cool, and that could probably do 4K.
What are the chances you think they might go AMD?
Nintendo to AMD?
Yeah.
Low?
That's not happening.
Yeah.
They've got it. I mean, there's a contract in place with NVIDIA.
Okay.
And they've already, like, they're both happy with the relationship they have.
I can see that, but it's
also a new architecture. It's a new gen. It's a new gen that we're coming into. They're gonna have to figure something out. They can't release the same. They can't release the same performance.
Right. It's the gens,
Nintendo,
but it's also like
Nintendo runs on their own timetable.
Yeah, that would.
They don't give a shit about Gen 8, Gen 9. They're on their own gen.
Yeah.
The biggest I would see a change to Qualcomm before I saw a change to AMD, and that's mostly just because Tegra is still an ARM-based processor. Like you now have a full system that you're trying to like advance on that's based off of ARM. You're not going to suddenly flip everything to x86 and just be like, hey guys, relearn how to program every game you programmed for us. Thanks, bye. Yeah,
it's true. No, they're probably sticking with Intel. If there are any rumors about a Switch 2, then there has to be some sort of NDA put in place, and then it's just like you said, NVIDIA doesn't really do much SoC stuff. So maybe this is their only contract and they're going to keep it a secret.
Like they have released one since the X1, which was Turing based, I think. No, it wasn't even Turing based. It was Pascal based, but it's like most of their SoC stuff that they've worked on in the last year or two is like really absurd graphics based SoCs that are like $1,200. Like really high end weird developer server SoC stuff, and you're not going to see any of that come to like a Switch,
right? But it makes me wonder why we're even getting rumors of a Switch 2, because these rumors have been going around for a few months.
I think a lot of it comes down to like when it comes to their handhelds, they've had a penchant ever since. I don't know if I say ever since the Game Boy, but it definitely when the Advance came out, when they had, or like even the Pocket, like the way that Nintendo treats their handhelds is they always create like another version of them. So we go back to Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, Advance. Then they had the Advance SP. They had the backlit screen. Then they made the DS. Then they made the DS Lite. Then you had the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the new Nintendo 3DS XL, the 2DS. It's kind of like when they have a handheld, and I know that the Switch is in that weird spot where it's like handheld and home, but people kind of see handheld and they go, well, Nintendo obviously does these things with their handhelds. So it only makes sense, especially with how PlayStation and Xbox have gone by upgrading their systems to have a pro version, that it would make sense that Nintendo would follow suit and create that updated Switch. And so there's a precedent a bit for their handheld part, and with
does
the
performance ever
point,
like increase from the 3DS to the 3D
When
XL?
they did the 3DS to the new Nintendo 3DS, there were 6 games that were specifically could only be played on the new. I hate the naming scheme. I know it's fucking stupid.
Like
there was
very minor
6 separate games that could only be played on the new Nintendo 3DS XL that could not be played on the regular 3DS XL.
Yeah.
That was like the Xenoblade Chronicles port they made.
Who was making it? Who was making their stuff? Is it Nintendo?
I have no idea. Like a lot of their old stuff, like you could see like very minor jumps like that, but nothing in the realm of like.
Maybe they're working on their own SoC.
The real main change between the Advance to the SP was the fact that it was a foldable system and the fact that it was also backlit, whereas the original Game Boy Advance was not backlit.
Okay, you get the only one that they have now that is Pascal based is the Turing or the Jetson AGX Xavier TX2, which is a really cool chip, but that will do 4K 60 for video, and it will decode it and encode it. It's got 256 CUDA Pascal cores, 8 gigs of RAM. It sounds like everything you want. Yeah, the dev kit's $1,400.
How much does a dev kit usually differ from a in production, chip?
Dev kits are usually cheaper.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember Nintendo.
It depends on
what is that chip for then?
Really crazy AI bullshit.
It's just machine learning?
Yeah.
Maybe they're working on their own. Because these rumors aren't really a new thing. We've been hearing about rumors for the past few months. But we'll see.
But what the thing where you could see it, that's the TX2, which that has been out for a couple of months now, which was what I was referencing earlier. It could be possible to launch a more gutted version of this, I think, for cheaper, and that's what
I was wondering. Like,
that could lead to.
I wouldn't be surprised of a Switch Lite.
Right, or like a normal. No, I just mean like a normal X2, and that would be your performance boost because there is a.
I'm saying
there's a significant jump.
If we get a revision of the Switch, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go the opposite way, not make an upgraded version of the Switch, but a more lighter version of the system for cheaper as an entry point for parents to buy for their kids.
And it comes with a Labo.
Exactly. Yeah, they bundle it with a fucking Labo, and you sell it for like maybe instead of
you're right. They could do that too.
200.
And that's exactly what no one wants, and that's exactly what they will do.
And I have a feeling that's something Nintendo would essentially treat it as a 2DS. A 2DS of
and then
Switch.
The next generation, then we'll get the upgrade.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of that is
I hope you're wrong. I really hope you're wrong.
Isn't ready for a new chip, or they're working on it, but it's very early development still.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, but I'm just saying, in a cheaper price point for parents who are buying their kids like currently still 3DSs because of the cheap price point.
Make it a 5-inch screen.
It's one thing to hand a 10-year-old or an 8-year-old like a $300 product and tell them it's mobile. It's another thing to hand them like $180 thing and go, okay, well, it's $120 cheaper.
That's something they would release with Pokemon or something.
Oh, hell yeah, they would. In time for next year's holiday?
Put a 5-inch screen on it.
Oh, my God.
720p output. That's it. That's all you need. I mean, I actually wouldn't mind one. If it was smaller.
Put a dock on it. You make it lighter so that the battery can go for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
You're not worrying about that 1080p.
Don't give Nintendo any ideas.
Honestly, I would actually probably buy that. Even if it was
specifically a handheld.
You wouldn't buy it?
I would buy that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You have it so the Joy-Cons can't come off.
If it was like $150, $150, it was 5 inches.
I want it to have the Joy-Cons come off because there's too many games that require weird Joy-Con usage or preferred weird Joy-Con.
Well, I'm saying if this is that Switch Lite where it's specifically for a certain thing,
it'll make it cheaper to produce.
You're taking out the gyro, you're taking out the motor, you're taking out the Bluetooth. I'm just saying how you make it cheaper.
I think you can.
This is how you make it cheap.
True. I think you can still do those things though, and just 720p screen, like just
5 inches.
Just kind of make it a little bit smaller like that. you still have Joy-Cons or whatever, and just don't include a dock. None of that. Don't worry about it running.
I'm just saying how to also increase battery life is that you've got the Joy-Cons aren't charging off of the system.
Like, and that I'd totally buy that because how I play Switch.
Like that's how you make it one cheaper and two last longer. Is you totally take out all of that gyro shit, all of the Bluetooth modules. You take it so it's not charging off of the system and it's connected only so it's like essentially just a giant handheld tablet device that plays Nintendo games,
which is what it is.
Yeah, all right, last thing for $180.
Last thing on the Switch, data miner discovers unannounced Nintendo Switch Online SNES games. So we're gonna be getting some SNES action. Super Mario Kart.
Take a look at the list of games that they had.
Super Soccer.
Don't they already have one out? Isn't one of the Zelda games already out?
Only Zelda 1, and they were releasing Zelda 2, but both of those are NES games.
Yeah, we got Link to the Past. We're gonna get Yoshi's Island.
You got some
Star Fox, Contra, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Kirby Dream Land 3, Super Metroid, Super Mario.
That's Star Fox 2, which is interesting because that would mean they're running the emulator from the SNES Classic on this.
Yeah, Star Fox.
Especially since they discontinued the SNES Classic, this would be another way for people to get a hold of Star Fox 2. But some of the really interesting things on here are like Stunt Race FX. That's never seen a re-release in any form, even on the SNES Classic.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a race. I think it's a racing game.
It looks so dumb.
The Legend of the Mystical Ninja. I love that game. Goemon. It was never very popular in the West, but I like that it's on there. And then Breath of Fire 2. So there's some third-party support in here as well, because that's a Capcom game.
When are we going to get some Game Boy Advance games on here so we can play some Advance Wars?
Apparently they also found data that suggests that there are 2 other emulators besides the SNES and the NES.
Just give me that.
My opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Game Boy Advance and N64.
Yep, I want Advance Wars.
N64, but
the only thing against N64 I have is that this would pretty much dispel them making an N64 mini or classic.
Or it could just be on there and they're just not going to release it till afterwards.
But I'm telling you, if you're getting this list of games included in your $20 per, like 20 per year for online, it stings a little bit less if you're getting that included in that pricing.
They got to make you happy some way because it's complete fucking garbage.
And NES games, let's be honest here, they're just not that great to play over and over again.
No.
Yeah.
Especially since the majority, I would argue the majority of the base of the Switch's like clientele didn't grow up with NES. They grew up with SNES and N64.
NES it's a little bit behind the times.
My first game was Link to the Past.
I mean, I remember the NES, but I also was like 5.
Yeah.
And even
I
then,
played Duck Hunt like 5 times.
I still remember that my first
wanted
game
to play
I ever beat was Link to the Past because I remembered I went to preschool every day for like a year and made them let me have a save, and I beat that fucking game. I was proud.
I just remember playing Duck Hunt. My friend had a Duck Hunt, and I played Duck Hunt, and I was like, "This is dumb. I want to go play Comic Zone on Sega Genesis." NES is trash.
I was a Genesis kid before I was a SNES kid, so
this was just way better.
Dude, Shinobi 3? Yeah, come on.
All of them. I played so much Comic Zone. It's
take your Ninja Gaiden, shove it, give me Shinobi 3.
Vector Man? Dude, I used to try to get people to call me Vector Man.
We know.
All right?
That's kind of sad, actually.
We remember.
Dude, Vector Man was so cool, though.
Is that your rap name, Vector Man? Young Vec.
So cool, dude. All right, moving on.
Is there a theme song for Vector Man?
I think so, actually.
It's probably just a bunch of beeps and boops.
I think so.
Oh, hell yeah, there is.
Here, let me play
It's probably got that classic Genesis sound font to it.
That, like, crystalline, sparkly song.
The Sega Genesis sound font.
All right, I'm playing the audio real quick. Oh, my God. It's just giving me such nostalgia just watching this. Yep.
Oh my God, the title theme to Vector Man.
Oh, this is awesome, dude. I want to play right now.
I was right. It's a bunch of beeps and boops.
Oh my God. If you're listening to this, you're welcome.
A weird robot no.
I will say, unless if this is the one that you're also listening to, it's got some really interesting panning between the left and the right.
Yeah.
I'm actually digging it.
Yeah, Vector Man was the shit, dude. All right, moving on. Bravely Default Twitter account says new game is in development. I don't know what this is, Doobie.
So Bravely Default is the same. They're the same team that made Octopath Traveler
And Bravely Default.
and Bravely Default and Bravely Second on the 3DS. But let's be honest, I think their biggest hit right now has been Octopath.
It has been, but I knew them because of the weird 3DS games, because you'd always see like.
You know what? I think I'm gonna get Octopath.
I loved it.
You'd walk in.
I really like.
I think I'm
game.
gonna get it because I just had a couple other friends who just got it and they said it's the best game they've ever played in their life. So I think I'm gonna get it.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, but hyperbole. But they're super happy with it. Like
it's a very good RPG with a very fun battle system.
Just go
I'm
get
down.
Kingdom Come.
I already have it. I already have
Go back Kingdom Come.
I know I got stuck in a tree and then I just never played the game again.
I want to see. I mean, like, because
No,
used a lot of the Bravely Default battle system in its mechanics.
Oh, you don't
that
say.
Carried over. So I think another Bravely Default game, but this time on the Switch. I think it could sell pretty well.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm
after all the hype from Octopath, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, dude, go play Kingdom Come. It's up your. I think it's up your alley. It's the most.
I don't think it is up his alley.
Dude, no, I think it is, dude. It's the most Bethesda RPG that Bethesda has not been releasing in the last couple of years.
Is it as broken as a Bethesda RPG?
Oh yes,
Pretty much.
Oh, baby.
yes.
The new
Fantastic.
DLCs have terrible Metacritic scores too.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, it's because they're pretty meh. But like the actual game itself is fantastic, but it's just as broken as every Bethesda game of like weird clip-ins and all of that.
If you could get it for $15, I would recommend it. For $15, I wouldn't spend much more over that.
No,
I'm looking at a video for this thing for
I would
Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I would say 30.
That's an interesting battle system.
Oh, the battle system's the best part of it.
Awesome,
It's the best part of the
Diagonal
game.
striking.
because Wayne, since you've played it, like there isn't game breaking bugs in it anymore.
That's
like
good.
nothing. Yeah, nothing in it's like game breaking or anything like that. It's just like weird texture glitches at this point.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
No, I remember watching you play this game, Wayne.
Dude, it's hard, but it's a lot of.
You got bodied so hard in the beginning.
Yeah, I had no idea how to fight. It's so weird.
And you start like with weird low skills, but like once you really start getting it, it's really rewarding. It's like there was like a time where, yeah, dude, there was like a time where it was like cool. I ended up against like 6 dudes in full armor, and like your first 5 days in that game, you're just gonna get steamrolled. And then like the second you finally figure out how to like trick them into shooting each other and like actually winning, it's like, oh fuck yeah, bud.
The only problem with it, Doobie, is if you're going to start playing it, just know that there's a good 5 hours that you're not going to have fun. It's the first 5 hours sucks.
The intro's rough.
It's just like, so slow and dumb. And
so I should just play The Witcher 3 more.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like,
let's go play The Witcher 3.
I once you beat Witcher, if you're like into those kinds of RPGs, Kingdom Come was pretty decent.
Yeah, if you like Skyrim and stuff like that, it's a new experience. It is immersive. It's
Speaking of which,
one of the most immersive games I've ever played.
I didn't put this in the news.
You have to learn how to read. Your character doesn't know how to read, and you have to go and teach them how to read.
That reminds me of like Final Fantasy 12, where it's like you need to learn how to wear a hat.
You have to like actually shower and bathe. Because if you don't bathe, or if you're like covered in blood, like people will start attacking you or speaking to you differently.
Yeah, you don't have to shower. You could be just complete
you
dirtbag.
don't have to, but like if you want to actually like do things in the game, like no, you actually have to like go and bathe and things like that. Like
how is showering like? How do people not shower?
I mean, I just usually shower every once a week.
I'm just saying because I came from a convention, and like, any convention and any like
a convention, I have to shower immediately.
I'm saying there are those people that just don't.
That's disgusting. No.
And you can smell it, and it's fucking awful.
No. Actually, I'm due for a shower. It's been a couple days.
3 days max.
A couple days?
Yeah, I usually go a day or so.
No.
I don't like to shower every day.
Every other day is fine.
You don't have to wash your hair every day, but you definitely got to shower every day.
Nah, you gotta let your body oils permeate.
I'm good. I'm good on that. I'll shower every day.
All right, Dragonfall Biters Z second season pass will be revealed in late January.
Sounds about right.
For all you Dragonfall Biter heads.
Dragonfall Biters.
And now console modding and save editing services are now illegal in Japan.
Which is
I can understand save editing. Console modding is a different story, and it actually is a little worrisome.
It's your console. Do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Exactly. It's anti-consumerism.
Yes, Apple.
And two, a lot of the console modding that's done is on retro consoles to upfit them to be able to play on like newer TVs. And for capture card support, like if you have a 3DS and you want to capture that on stream, you have to mod the system.
Oh yeah, just think of the PS1.
Yeah. Like that's now considered illegal by the country of Japan's government.
Yeah, which is absolutely
makes no sense. Why the government's even making that illegal?
Oh,
I get it's anti-piracy laws probably, but I feel like they could have done a better job than just saying nope, console modding gone.
No, it's lobbying. It's lobbying. Yeah. They lobbied them to do that. They paid them money. There you go.
So I'm wondering, like, if you're in Japan and you're you mod your 3DS and you're streaming it, and they know, well, you can't be capturing this because you've obviously done something to your 3DS to capture it. I wonder if they can arrest you.
They can probably fine you. I don't know if they're gonna arrest you. You'll probably get fined. I mean, I'm sure if there's any privacy laws in place, it's more distribution of it.
Probably. It's probably like
kind of like how it is here.
You can't like do it and sell it, which is a thing. Right. That's how 3DS modding is done. Is you usually send your 3DS to somebody, they mod it for you, and they sell it and send it back to you, but you got to pay.
Just open.
Or you can buy a modded system.
Yeah. No, it's like seriously, open YouTube, and like that's actually an entire subgenre is literally just people going and finding old PS1s, and like 80% of them are just like weird shitty mods that they're taking apart and investigating. Like it's an actual it was big, and it's big enough that like that's a thing.
I remember the old mods like for like being able to get rid of the region locking.
Like stuff like that of just like, no, you just had to open it and like bypass the chip with like solder and wire.
Is the Game Genie a mod?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Use my Game Shark.
Game Shark, Game Genie.
Hardware. In the old days, it was hardware. It wasn't just software.
Yeah, you had to put your little cartridge on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it just fucked
I guess that would be considered
saves up.
Some of them worked and some of them totally didn't.
Yeah.
Some of them were total fucking scams.
What a crazy company. I
had a Game Shark and an Action Replay for my PS1.
I wonder if the Game Shark company is still around.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's Action Replay at this point. It's not called Game Shark.
It was under Mad Cats.
Oh, never mind. Mad Cats is gone.
Yeah, Mad Cats is gone.
Hori is the new Mad Cats. That's what I say.
I'm okay with it.
Hori's now making all the third-party shit.
Yeah, that's another deep rabbit hole of like how many really shitty fake Game Sharks there were.
Yeah,
people used to make like Game Sharks for the PC.
Where I remember going to GameFAQs.com and looking up the Game Shark codes.
Yeah, Game Shark codes.
GameFAQs.com.
It was a cool way to just like get that extra little content out of your game. After you played it, I'm gonna play one run. I'm not gonna use any cheats, and then after you played it, you beat it. You put all the cheats on, and you just fucked around.
Put God mode on.
Yeah, those days are long gone, man. Well, at least I don't know if they still have them in Grand Theft Auto. They've kind of kept them alive. The cheat code.
Yeah. I mean, any PC gaming still have console. If you can get into the console.
Yeah. Or you're in Fallout 76 and you just get banned for it.
Yes, next story.
Yeah, by going into the developer room and talking to the only NPC in the game.
Fallout 76 players are this is not the right article. So what was going on with Fallout 76?
Oh, they found the dev room and then they started getting banned.
I saw that.
To me makes sense if it's not a permanent ban. If it's a permanent ban, that's fucked up. If it's like a 1-day ban of like, no, don't do that, like it makes sense to me for 76. Any other Fallout game, fuck no. Like that's been a staple of Fallout games. That's why people were doing it. Is like any Bethesda game, there's always a weird dev room of every item that you always try to figure out how to get to because it's fun.
So this article says that at least one player claims to have received a message saying their character was in a corrupted and or unusual state and warning that they'd remain banned until they described how they entered the forbidden room.
That's funny.
So it's basically a TBH ban until you can let them know how you got there. Interesting.
That's interesting. I mean, to me, it's one of those things that 76 is a weird territory because while they are saying they'll eventually add private servers, and once you have a private server, I don't think you should be able to get banned for that on a private server.
Right.
But when you're on like their servers, no, it's still a sort of MMO of 30 people on it. Like you can't go to the cheat room like you can in every other Bethesda game and get all the fun cheat weapons like that's, and then just go to the 20 other people and just be like, sup bitch.
So what's the room meant to be? Like, what's it for the devs to go in? Just a test?
No, it's just a testing room where the NPC usually.
Why would they put them on this? I guess they would need to have them on the server, right?
Right. But usually it's usually just, hey, any item that we've added to the game we can get here to go test, instead of like having to, because usually if you're trying to introduce an item, like you'll probably have to put in a specific spot and then you can go grab it. That's the easiest way. So it's a really easy way of just like, cool, we have a fake room where only we can go. We can just say spawn item here, go pick it up and actually test it.
Right.
Yada, yada, yada.
Interesting.
Instead of like, yeah, dude, especially with the size of that map, like, yeah, spawn it in vault, blah, blah, blah. Will hopefully spawn near there or something. I don't know. But yeah, usually it's just for testing and stuff. But the way those rooms work is you have unlimited access to everything.
Yeah, I just found it odd that wouldn't they just already have, if they're admins, they would just already have unlimited access to whatever. But I guess not. I guess you would need an actual hard-coded room on the server.
Usually you don't need to, but usually it's for new stuff. So like things like, say if you're going to add a gun to the game, it's easier to just do that and be able to go pick it up from there than like, yeah, I'm going to make an admin mode and then add it to the admin mode so I can spawn it in front of me. Like you could totally do that too. It's just the way Bethesda decides to do that, because then they can go test it in like weird controlled environments. Is what they'll usually do too, is they'll make other little rooms of like, okay, here's a room that's a set size so I can see an accuracy of a specific range, things like that, instead of like being on the map and trying to guess.
All right.
Because like that was like Fallout 4, that was always a weird thing. There's actually like 40 secret dev rooms.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I just saw this popped up about 20 minutes ago.
By the way, Smash Online won't let you taunt, so everyone's teabagging instead.
Hell yeah.
And also, they removed the Carlton and Floss dances from Forza so they don't get sued.
That's so funny.
So EA just canceled the open world Star Wars game.
What? Oof. What open world Star Wars? Their MMO?
So when they, in 2017, closed Visceral Games, they announced the there was a Star Wars open. This isn't the same one that was announced in that really weird way. Remember from E3 where they're like sitting with the guy in the audience and he's like, yeah, the game's called Jedi Fallen Order and we've got nothing to show, but
right.
Yeah, that's Respawn. They're still working on that game, but apparently this was EA Vancouver's open world Star Wars game. So EA still doing its thing, canceling games.
Sounds right.
Buying studios and shutting them down.
But Bungie left Activision. So there's
yes, I forgot.
And then Activision Blizzard also got rid of like 2 people and they're shaking up their structure.
Oh, they've been doing this
plummeted.
This has been going on for like a year.
Yeah, but Activision they fired their CFO.
Yeah, no, this has been going on for a year. The CFO they fired was a temporary one because the other one already left when the other one already left at the beginning of.
And then somebody else left to go to Square.
Yeah, no, like Blizzard, please leave Activision, because that's been the biggest problem with Blizzard at the moment.
They're probably
Blizzard,
locked into some crazy contract.
They probably are, because they've been spiraling. There's so many customers are so pissed because it's turning into Activision. Almost all of the changes that have been being.
You mean things like announcing a Diablo game for specifically mobile?
That I'm the only one excited about.
Which is such an Activision thing to do.
No, yeah, it's stuff like that, but it's also high. It's also like in upper management and like everywhere where it's okay. Blizzard today, almost every single person that like drew me to Blizzard and made Blizzard a fantastic studio is gone.
Oh yeah.
And like that, this was literally like the last final passing of the torch, so to say, where it's like, all right, you got Jeff, you got good old T-Biggle Titties, who is Jeff. He's the guy who runs Overwatch. He was hired into Blizzard because he used to play EverQuest as a character named Tiggle, and literally just go on the forums and tell them how every single way their game's wrong. And then that was who they used to hire. And now he leads Overwatch to positive success. Everyone else like that who like actually had a good proper idea have been completely replaced by an Activision person just trying to make profit.
That's kind of the problem when your company's a public company. It's just that you have to constantly be making money hand over fist, and if you're not, they're just going to get rid of you. They don't care about any sort of PR. They don't care about any sort of like consumer base. It's just
which is why
squeeze as much as you can in the smallest amount of time possible, and then we're just going to fold this up. We're going to move on to the next.
And I think that's why a lot of these studios are going to fail eventually. Like that's why I think you're seeing EA stocks plummet. You're seeing Activision stocks plummet over like the last couple of years. Like they bounce back, but when have you seen as much outrage at large game studios as you have like the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy these last couple of years.
Like I don't know if that's
it's mainly the microtransaction sort of the introduction of it.
It's releasing shitty games that are unfinished all the time too.
Yeah,
it's like it's just the boiling point of like so many of those little things.
And then you get a game like God of War and like Spider-Man.
Exactly. They're games made for fucking the gamer. They're made for there's a big disconnect, I think, there where we're in this weird territory where like EA and Activision are just going for profits. And that's not going to be a winning strategy versus all of the games we've talked about this year that are trying to make a good fucking product. Because ultimately that like go back to Steve Jobs, like if you're a product company, you have to make a good fucking product first.
Yeah.
That's what makes you money.
Yep, it's a shame. It's good for Bungie.
Yeah, hopefully Destiny gets good because that's what they're trying to say. Who knows if that's true?
No, I think it'll definitely be good for them.
I'm hoping it gets a lot better.
It might take a little longer for them to get shit done, which might hurt them, but they're just not going to have the capital that they used to have.
Yeah.
They're not going to have the team.
The way they've been trying to lay it out too is like, okay, cool, we can go make the game we've been wanting to make. And if that's true, hell yeah, dude. Go actually like make whatever Destiny you wanted Destiny to be instead of what we've had of Destiny and Destiny 2 being really shit games at the start and like finally
Will Bungie be able to finally recapture what made them great when Halo first came out?
Yeah,
I think they could. I do.
I think
I know a lot of that staff left to be 343 Studios.
Yeah,
but like that company just needs. I don't. Part of me says, okay, make Destiny 3 and make it the way you want it to. But like, part of me is also like,
make a new one.
Make a new IP.
Yeah.
Just go away from the Destiny IP. Like let that ship sink with what happened with Activision, and make something new.
Yeah.
But I also can understand why they would want to continue the Destiny line.
Yeah, there's still a lot of diehard Destiny people. It's still a cash cow. Like it does make a good amount of money.
It's the Diablo 3 of looter shooters, where it's like really great for casuals.
but there's so much more potential there. It's such a good feeling shooter. It's just there's not much to it. It's just it's an obvious grind. It's an obvious fucking penny picture.
Make it Diablo 2.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, but that welcome to Diablo 3 and why that's completely finally failed. It's fantastic for casuals. It feels great. It always has that instant quick reward.
Yeah.
If you want any fucking depth, go fuck yourself. And
just
that's
why
PoE.
Yeah, you're better off playing Diablo 2
or PoE.
Yeah, no, like that's why PoE became now the leading group of that genre, is because they gave the consumer what the consumers actually wanted.
I'm curious to know how much money PoE makes.
A good amount, enough that they got bought out by Tencent. So you got to make a good amount to get bought out by Tencent.
They got bought out by Tencent.
They still have they got funding from Tencent. They got bought out by Tencent in the last year, but they still have full creative control, which is good. They need it.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope. Let's fucking hope it stays that way.
Cost in PoE, they make money. Well, like that's the thing about PoE too, is like it's
all cosmetics.
It's all cosmetics, but I mean, like the supporter packs. Like if you go to their forums, there at almost every poster on the forums, and there's like thousands and thousands of them, have fucking 15 supporter pack titles on their thing of like, yeah, dude, every time there's a new league, I buy like a $600 or $1,000 supporter pack. Like absurd levels of money that some people give this game.
It's crazy. All right, and I think that's it for the gaming portion. Moving on to the tech portion, there's only a couple things here. I bought new headphones. These are the Sennheiser HD660Ss. I tested out 6 different headphones at this hi-fi audio store in Philadelphia, and I landed upon these. I was actually getting ready to spend some big dough on like a nice pair of headphones for my turntable, but I landed on these. These are around $500. They sound absolutely amazing. They're open back. I highly recommend them, but I'm going to have a full review up for you this week. I also have the new Moment 18mm lens, which is it's a lens for your iPhone. Works great. It's a little pricey though. And I'll have another review up for you for that as well. And then DaVinci Resolve. So this has always been like the option for people to use when they were coloring video. Like it has just the best coloring. Professional filmmakers use it to color their stuff, but they kind of updated it along the way, and now it's just a great editing software, and it's completely free. So there's a paid studio option, which I'm thinking about getting, but you don't really need it. Like the completely free option, it has everything that you need. You can edit your videos. You can put all this sort of 3D stuff, all of the tracking stuff in there, as well as the coloring stuff, and then they have like this compressor system at the end. It's all like it's done in these like pages. So you kind of open it in your media page, move it to your editing page, move it to your Fusion page, then your coloring page, and then finally your output page. And it works really, really well. It's so much faster than Premiere. Not quite as fast as Final Cut, but it's way faster than Premiere.
You can make it really fast too.
Super fast, man.
No, because they how I've realized they were really starting to become a major player again. They really support Linux to the point that like BBC does all their rendering on huge Linux farms using DaVinci, because you can make it insanely fast.
Yeah, it's pretty. I highly recommend it. I wouldn't even really recommend Premiere right now. It's just Premiere it's a standard, but it's too expensive for what you're getting, and it's not the fastest one, and it outputs a little bit mushy, and the colors aren't nearly as good. I would choose Final Cut colors over just the Final Cut output, the compression, the bit rate, the colors over Premiere, and then with DaVinci, I would prefer that over Final Cut. So it's pretty impressive. It takes a little bit getting used to, but if you know NANLE, you can jump right into it. It'll take you an hour to learn it, and then you're good to go.
But it's also because it's Black
and
Magic.
It's free.
It's free, but I think part of that is because it's from Black Magic.
Yeah.
Like Black Magic is a camera manufacturer.
Yeah. Yeah,
like
they do cinema stuff.
Right. They are like a really good cinema level hardware manufacturer.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, and if you're looking to do any sort of short film or documentary work, check out their Blackmagic cameras because they're the cheapest that you can get, and they look great. They accept any lenses. Just a really good system.
But like it does. That's why it doesn't surprise me that it's gotten as good as it has. But I mean, it still does. But like,
it's way better than Premiere.
It's really cool that it's gotten as
the
good
thing
as
with
it
Adobe.
has.
The thing with Adobe that is just so hard to leave is that the way that they cross-platform their apps is just seamless. So you can literally just search a stock image, license it really quickly, upload it on Photoshop, edit it down, just hop right over into Premiere, drop it in there. All of your fonts are already loaded in. It's just like super seamless. But I don't know if it's enough to, like, if you're someone who...
Oh, if I can use it on Linux, I'm totally sold.
Yeah, if you're someone who is looking to basically get into it and you just need something quick to get your YouTube videos up, just get Resolve. It's free. And you're gonna just learn it, just learn Resolve, learn on it. You're gonna have much better colors. You're gonna have much better compression and bit rates. I really been enjoying it. I think I'm gonna stick with it. I might even install it on the Mac and see how it works on the Mac. Not quite as fast as Final Cut, and that's even on the desktop. Like my desktop isn't quite as fast as Final Cut on my laptop. But considering where they're going, who knows? Maybe it'll be faster soon because they've been constantly just kind of pushing it along, working really well.
But I know I'm going to test it on Linux because I'm pretty sure you could just make it stupidly fast.
Yeah, when you first load it up, it asks for, like, it just, like, scans your hardware and just sets it to whatever your hardware is, like, whatever the fastest setting it wants. I don't really know how to tweak it. Like, in Adobe, you can actually go in and tweak how much CUDA you want to send to Premiere and how much, all that other stuff. I didn't really see that option for Resolve, but it's on Windows for me. It's not on Linux.
I still want one of their cameras.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend them to anyone that's not in cinema, though. They're cinema cameras.
No, they are, but like I remember when they were first coming out, and it was just like that was the coolest thing. Was like, $1,500 for like real cinema quality. That was groundbreaking.
Yeah, it's pretty nice stuff. We shot a music video 5 years ago, and the guy was using this little fucking pocket cinema camera.
Yeah,
and it looks great.
Tiny. Yeah, like they're tiny for what they are.
Yeah. But
it doesn't have a fold-out screen.
And speaking of which, Sony just literally, I've been crying about this camera forever now. Just give me a camera that does 4K, that doesn't crop the shit out of it, with the flip-out screen, with a mic jack, with a headphone jack, with good autofocus, with image stabilization. Sony just announced their A6400, and it has all of that in there. It has a flip-up screen. It has 4K. It has image stabilization. It has their top-of-the-line autofocus. It has a touch screen. It shoots up to 11 frames per second. This is it. This is the camera that everyone is going to buy. This is it. They did it. They finally did it. They listened. This is going to be the camera you see every YouTuber get. This is going to be the camera you see everyone that wants to get into photography get. This is the one that's going to fucking sell them. Like, this is just going to sell like hotcakes. I'm already going to pre-order it. Pre-orders come out January 17th. What's today? Today's maybe a couple days. Adorama. Where is it? Yes. Pre-order opens up January 17th. So in a couple days, by the time you hear this, it'll be the next day. Pre-order it. It's only $898 at Adorama, and it'll also be available with the 16 to 50 millimeter 3.5 at for $1,000, or you can get, it's just an E-mount lens, so get whatever lens you want on it. Has HLG recording. I mean, it's literally
millimeter prime.
It has fucking everything, man. It has fucking everything. If you're gonna get a 50 millimeter, just remember it's APS-C, so it's gonna be like 85 millimeter. So you might want to get a 35 because then it'll be 50.
But what about the big flaws?
The big flaws, it's in the A series, the 6 series body, and it sucks to hold. It's not a good feeling camera in any way. And it might overheat. I don't know. That used to be a problem with the A6000, but it's not really a problem.
Use the flip out screen and a mic at the same time.
You can't, but you could if you just
I'm kidding.
mount the mic somewhere else.
Yeah, Wayne had us watch some YouTube video earlier, and I'm just fucking harping on any talking point he had.
Yeah. Yeah, so Canon owns a flip out patent. If you have a mirrorless or an APS-C camera or a full frame camera, DSLR size, handy cam, if your screen flips out to the side, you have to pay Canon. This is a secret thing. No one really knows if that's true, but it has to be true because no one does it. There's no reason for no one to do it other than it costing them money, and it must cost them a lot of money. The only people that do it is Canon. So it has to be because Canon has a patent. So what Sony did was said, "Fuck you. We need them to look at themselves. So we'll just have it flip up in the most convoluted way possible." You know, it just gets in the way if you have a mic there. There's an eyepiece there that gets in the way.
It's a weird double slider too.
Yeah, it's like this L bracket that's locked in there. But they put it on. So fuck it. I'm going to be happy with it. Hopefully it comes to the A7S III when that gets released. If it doesn't, I'm going to flip my fucking lid. But actually, I really don't even care about that camera because this camera's out.
True.
So I don't really care.
The other funny thing too is
no, I do kind of care.
One of the talking points that people were harping on it for was because of the flip out. You can't use a mic on it at the same time. Or like on the hot mount, whatever. Yeah. It still doesn't have a mic input, so who fucking cares?
It does have a mic input.
Didn't it on that video?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Not like a proper XLR, no.
Oh, no camera has that unless it's a cinema camera. But you can actually hook up an XLR as long as you get the XLR to mic jack, like 3.5 mic jack.
Okay, it does have a mic jack. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he didn't know. But yes, it has mic jack. It has a hot shoe mount, so you could even get the mics that you don't even need a mic jack. It just connects to the top of it, which is pretty cool, but they're expensive. They're not really worth it. If you're going to get this in a Rode, you're going to have to get a little cage for it and stick the mic on the side if you expect to use the screen, which is fine.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine, as long as you can see yourself. I've been thinking about getting a Canon and losing so many features just because it has a flip-out screen. Because most of what I do is like this stuff, where I have to look at myself. And when you can't see yourself, it's fucking frustrating. You don't even know if you're recording on most of their cameras. You don't even know what your audio levels are at. You don't know if you're in focus. Nothing. You just have to hope that the autofocus catches you and that you're recording. But now you can. They did a good job. I'm very happy with Sony. And I'm very happy I can stick with Sony. I don't have to fucking leave all my lenses. And good job, Sony.
Bion ZX XXX.
The Bion. And it's under $1,000. They're insane. They're killing it.
No, it actually seems like a really cool, compelling camera.
Yeah.
Like if this is,
I wouldn't recommend anything else to anyone.
If this really does end up being as good as it sounds, like, also, no, this would totally replace like a GH5 for me.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The only reason I would recommend a GH5 is if you don't like autofocus. I don't even. It's a Micro Four Thirds with terrible autofocus, so it's kind of a hard. They're gonna have to figure something out.
It was always that king of $600 to $800 decent enough video camera,
and it had a flip out screen.
Yep.
Now it's worth a lot for a lot of people. So this is very compelling. Those GH5 owners are gonna be scratching their heads now because none of those lenses would work. You'd have to change all your lenses over. I would recommend this one over the GH5. The new Panasonic cameras are coming out, but they didn't put a flip-out screen on them. The full-frame ones. They're crazy. All right, moving on. Netflix raises their prices on all streaming plans in the U.S.
Again.
Yep. It's coming from $11 to $13 per month for HD streaming. Most expensive plan, which offers 4K content up to 4 simultaneous streams on different devices, will increase from $14 to $16, and the service's basic plan, which doesn't offer HD, will raise from $8 to $9. So a couple extra bucks. I guess they want to make some more TV shows, so they're gonna, raise you up a cut. They're just gonna keep doing it until people push back. So that's just how that's gonna work.
As long as
I'll happily pay it.
I was gonna say, if it stays under 20 and you still have a lot of their their good original content that's been coming out.
What if it was $35?
That's getting in the realm of because I don't watch it enough.
Yeah. But I would hate to not have it though,
Yeah, I would, but realistically, I'm a weirdo. I only watch. I honestly only watch Netflix if someone else is over. If
Yeah.
it's just me sitting here, I'm probably watching something stupid on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, $35 is up there, but I could see that argument being made. Like they're just gonna keep going up. I can see $20 next. I could see $20 being their next price point. It's at $16 right now. Maybe $18 and then $20. Who knows? I don't want them to raise it. Don't get me wrong. Apple just launched their $130 battery case for the iPhone XX, XS Max, and XR. I already pre-ordered it.
What? Really?
Oh yeah.
Why?
If you had an iPhone 6 or an iPhone, I think it was the iPhone 6, they had the smart battery cases. It might have been the iPhone 7.
Yeah, I remember them, but like, why?
It's just such a good little. You never need to ever worry about charging your phone again. It's very nice to have.
This is where I gotta throw out my love for the XR. It's mostly because of that 720p screen. I'm running 6 hours a day screen time. I wake it up, it's fully charged. When I get home, it's usually at 50% at worst.
Yeah, I don't ever really have to worry about my battery day to day. But if you're like traveling in any way, this is the battery case you're gonna want to get.
Probably, yeah. Like I'd consider it.
I'm not gonna keep it on my phone. I might.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Like I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I am actually curious about that. Of like how good your battery, like how much big of a difference the screens actually make. Because I've been loving this of like
just charge it at night. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, the battery for this, like I've left it for 2 days and still only hit like 56%.
Yeah, all Apple products when they like sleep, oh man, it's the best because they really don't lose any charge. And then you can wake them right up and start using them. Like, I really do love that part about Apple's products.
Yeah, but like I think that there might be a thing there for the XR because I think it was Dan Seifert from The Verge. He was like, yeah, no, I took my XR to CES because he's at CES running everything. And he was coming home from CES of like a 14-hour day, still over 50%.
Yeah, I believe it.
Like, that's absurd and awesome.
Yeah, you absolutely don't need this battery case if you're worried about like a day-to-day battery life. But if you need that extra, because I usually get like battery packs just for my phone, really. Sometimes for the Switch. But if I can just slap this on my phone and not worry about my phone for the next 3 days, like charging it all, it's nice to have.
Yeah.
I love the old one. The old one is just excellent.
This case just looks too cool for me to switch.
I like the way these ones look. They look better than the old ones. The old ones kind of had like a weird like bulge on it. This one kind of has just like they kind of look like the new
normal bulge.
They kind of look like the Moment cases for the Moment battery cases, which I kind of feel bad for them about because they made it and then the iPhone came out.
It still looks like just it's a Mophie case. It's a refined Mophie case.
Yeah, that's all it is. But they do have that. I don't know. They do something with the power spec where you don't really have to worry about the health of the battery. That was what was nice about the smart battery ones. Most people who have them, they still have that phone with their battery cases on, and their batteries are like they work fine. So I got one. They blew up?
Not like blow up, but the battery will start expanding.
Really?
Yeah, that happened to girlfriend's grandma. She still has a 6. And like we went there for Christmas and was just like, why is your screen like
bulging out?
Bulging?
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Definitely.
So maybe don't run it that long is my suggestion.
Definitely don't let her use that phone.
On battery.
Just completely, primed explosive in her pocket all day.
Yeah.
That's the thing with these batteries. They are kind of scary. If anything like punctures your pocket, your fucking leg could just blow off at any moment. And then YouTube, last piece of news. YouTube's guidelines now address dangerous pranks following Bird Box Tide Pod challenges. And they essentially changed their policy. YouTube is home to many beloved viral challenges and pranks, but we need to make sure what's funny doesn't cross the line to being harmful or dangerous. We've made it clear that our policies prohibiting harmful and dangerous content also extend to pranks with the perceived danger of serious physical injury. We don't allow pranks that make victims believe they're in serious physical danger. For example, a home invasion prank or a drive-by shooting prank. If you do any of those, you're a fucking moron. These type of pranks are popular among creators, blah, blah, blah. So they're changing their policy because of the whole Bird Box thing where people were driving with blindfolds on and causing a PR nightmare. Yeah, and eating Tide.
Or drugging their girlfriends on camera with natural sex enhancement pills.
They were giving people lax. The list goes on and on and on.
Giving people Viagra and shit in their drinks, and that's content, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like where honestly, YouTube has gone or what YouTube has become, to be honest.
Sometimes YouTube really fucks up. Good on YouTube for this, I think, personally. Like, fuck all of this stupid bullshit prank shit. That's like, yeah, dude, go fucking drive around in your car blindfolded when you know your audience is literally 9-year-olds that you just market to. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, they had to do something, but I mean, what's crazy is too is like those pranks would be promoted on YouTube's trending page all the fucking time. I know. All the fucking time.
And that's why I'm saying
they need to change their algorithm.
Yeah, no, that's why they're still should definitely give shit to YouTube, but like I'll give them credit here of like, yeah, no, at least take a step of like saying no, this shit's not okay.
Yeah.
Now do something about it. That's the other part.
And like in terms of like how far does this go? I'm sure if you do some like harmless, stupid prank, I'm sure there's a line where it might get crossed, and some people might have harmless pranks that'll get banned, and some people will have harmful pranks that won't get banned. I'm sure that'll always be there. But if you're doing pranks on YouTube, you probably should just go away anyway. Unless they're good, funny pranks. Like, no, dude, it could be done. Like the guy with the Ring doorbell where he set up the thing that spun around.
Yeah,
it's a great prank.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful, and I think that would totally be okay because it's not harmful.
Yeah,
it's fart gas. It's right. A traditional, haha, funny prank, versus like the way a lot of those started going of like, hey, I'm gonna go randomly molest a stranger in public.
Yeah, I'm gonna go scream the N-word in the hood and get beat up.
Yeah,
because that's a prank somehow.
Yep,
it's a prank,
but
bro.
Don't worry, dude. Now they're all making Spider-Man, Elsa children's content. That still hasn't been fixed either.
Yeah, YouTube is. I'm surprised there hasn't been a true competitor to YouTube yet. If it were to come out, it needs to be now. Now is the perfect time to come in and steal YouTube's thunder. Especially with all the fucking YouTube Rewind bullshit. It's just like, how has no one put this up yet? All right. That's it for the show. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will catch you guys next week. Make sure you head over to our Instagram at NoLifeDigital as well as our website, nolife.digital. We'll catch you guys next week for a new episode. And yeah, I should have some more videos up for you this week. Catch y'all later. Peace.